So in this video, we're going to talk about everything you need to know to save money as a student. So first, coffee. I drink so much coffee every day, and if I didn't make it at home, at least some of it, then I would completely run out of money. So that's my first tip, is find a good coffee maker, like a French press or something, and get grounds at the grocery store. Make your coffee at home in the morning, bring it with you in a thermos. My second tip has to do with food, which is like maybe more important than coffee. It can be really expensive to eat out in London, so I highly recommend that you cook. You can cook with friends, it can be a social thing, you can meal prep. If you don't like meal prepping, at least wake up early enough in the morning to make like the meal for that day and pack it with you to campus. Also do your food shopping at Tesco and Sainsbury's. Get a club card. They have really great meal deals. For £3 you can get like a drink, a snack, and a lunch. So it really pays off to shop, do big food shops all at once instead of going to like small places to get 1 or 2 things a day, because that can add up and be super expensive. So the next thing that's obviously really important in London is transportation. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that I'm always cycling everywhere. I'm a huge advocate of cycling. I think it's the best way to get around. You can find a used bicycle really cheap in London and have your own method of transportation, or you can use the Boris bikes, as we call them here, which are Santander bikes. It's like a city bike program where you pay £2 and you have the bicycle for 24 hours. And there are docking stations all over central London, so it's super convenient. If you don't like cycling, then definitely tube or bus. If you tube, try and get a student Oyster card. It pays off, especially if you're here for a long time. It reduces the fare for your journey. So now, activities and fun things to do. It's London. You can literally do anything you want, but it can be quite expensive. Like, there's a scene for everyone, right? So if you want to go to some fancier places, they're there, and it's a great way to treat yourself and have fun with friends. But there are also tons of free activities. A lot of the museums, especially for students, are free or discounted. So like the Victoria and Albert Museum in South Kensington is beautiful. It's a great place to walk around and enjoy with your friends. There's so many amazing parks, and like even in the winter they're full of people. There's Hyde Park, there's Primrose Hill, there's Regent's Park. If you want to go into a bit more nature, there's Richmond Park, which is like 30 minutes south of central London, and you can see like deer and lots of wildlife there. So there's so many amazing things to do outside for free. You can also just walk around and explore the really cool areas like Chinatown and Soho, and you don't necessarily have to buy anything, although it does get quite dangerous, especially if you go into like Covent Garden. The urge to shop can be quite overwhelming. So we're keeping this video pretty brief. I'm going to end by just talking about some resources you can use to help budget. Most students have like Revolut or Monzo or Money's or all these like online banking apps, and they're really nice because A, you get a notification every time you spend money, and B, they give you like statements and like break down the way that you spend your money on each month. So it's like an instantaneous way to see how you're spending your money, how much you have, whether you're doing something good or maybe not so good. And secondly, there's another resource available through Imperial, specifically called BlackBullion, and it's a really cool thing online. You just sign in with your college credentials, and it's not so much a budgeting app, but it's like a course on financial literacy. So there's lots of different resources you can go to learn about investing or learn tips for budgeting or all these things like that that can make you more aware of how you're spending your money. Because at the end of the day, it's something that not everyone likes to talk about. Everyone likes to complain, oh, I'm going broke. And it can be really hard not to spend a lot of money in London, but it can also be very easy if you just educate yourself and spend a little bit of time budgeting and being conscious of your money making decisions. You don't have to go broke at Imperial or in London at university.